You're on final approach to an airport in an airliner, seconds from touchdown, when all of a sudden, this happens.
Tower Moxie 580 going right. Moxie 580 Westchester County, roger. Flight runway heading maintain 2000. Runway heading 2000, Moxie 580.
And just seconds before that happened, you can hear this from a flight attendant.
Sir, I need you to get RP. We're going to be landing in a second.
This is the full story of a flight where a desperate passenger gives all passengers a surprise. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. That's right, I'm at the Vero Beach Regional Airport and I'm flying up to Westchester County today on Breeze. I'm so excited about it and you're gonna join me today. But first we're going to CJ Cannon's, the airport restaurant in the terminal building where I'm getting ready to eat some lunch. I love this place. Where else can you wait for your table while reading the 1987-1988 edition of Jane's All the World's Aircraft? I remember reading this publication when I was a kid before the internet. Speaking of the past, this whole restaurant is a nod to a bygone era of aviation. Whenever I have the extra time, this is my go-to place for a pre-flight meal. The food fills you up for your flight for sure, but I'm here for modern day aviation, so let's go back outside. All right, it's gonna be a standard flight as it usually is. My seat is strategically on the left-hand side of the aircraft because I wanna get those great views of New York City and Kennedy Airport as we fly in the Buono arrival to HPN today. I'm also strategically wearing a dark color. The reason why, because I'm noticing sometimes when you're flying northbound from Florida to New York, the sun is in the west and it reflects on your clothing in the window, so it's difficult to film out, so I decided to wear dark clothing this time around. Have you ever seen anybody wearing dark clothing? Do you think they're doing the same thing as me? Probably not, but who knows. Anyway, I can't wait for this flight today. And someone very special is joining me today.
Hi everybody, it's Peter Sr. I'm joining my son today on this Breeze flight from Vero Beach to HPN. We're not sitting together, I'm a few rows in front of him, but I do have a window seat.
Because two windows are better than one. Today's aircraft is coming from Islip. This aircraft, November 206 Bravo Zulu, started its day here in Vero Beach. It then flew up to Islip. It's coming back from Islip. I'm taking it to Westchester, and then it's gonna fly back down to Vero Beach tonight to remain overnight. There's my plane on a left downwind leg to runway 12 right. We'll be on this plane soon.
Before TSA, it's time for a quick glimpse of our plane getting in from Islip.
It's time to head inside the terminal so we can do some outdoor boarding. All right, we're getting ready to board the Airbus A220-300 series. Always awesome.
Can't beat Breeze.
As we board this modern day airplane, I can't help but thinking about our routing today. Each flight is different, and even though you already know how the landing is going to turn out based upon the title of this video, today's flight, although routine to most, will be unique. We'll be taking advantage of the large windows on this A220 the entire flight. We're not here for anything else, just a window view, and of course the need to get to point B. Passengers on the inbound flight were asked to lower their window shades before deplaning. As soon as we get on board, the window shades are coming up. All right, he's over in row 20, I'm in 27. We're both on the same side of the aircraft though. We're about to take our seats. Let's go flying. Okay, I'm back in row 27 here on the Airbus A220, and of course I've got to open the window shade. I'm happy we've got an aircraft that does not have scratches on the window today. Here's the view from my window. I love it. We should have some great Atlantic Ocean views soon. For now, ramp crew members are prepping the ramp for our departure. All right, we're getting ready for pushback. They're loading the last couple of passengers on board right now. Today we're supposed to be taking a water route up to the Westchester County Airport. Should be a pretty standard flight.
Going to White Plains, 2 hours and 23 minutes, 35,000. We do expect a very smooth flight. The weather is, for now, beautiful up there. Not much to tell you. We'll be on our way very shortly. That's what I got for you. So sit back, relax, enjoy the flight.
The airspace we see out the window right now is the airspace that we'll be climbing into today. The plan is to fly runway heading, then get a left radar vector by Palm Beach Departure Control to the northeast. We'll be using runway 12 right for takeoff, and takeoff clearance will come only when the runway is clear of other departing flights and arrivals, like this plane, which is clearing runway 12 right now. I think it's time to check in with Vero Beach Ground Control.
Ground Moxie 580, ready push back with kilo. Moxie 580, push at your discretion. Our discretion, Moxie 580.
Using the Moxie call sign, we can now move back via tug. We'll move from the ramp to taxiway Charlie, which is behind us. Now, even though it may not seem like it, Vero Beach was just ranked 3rd busiest in Florida based upon the total number of takeoffs in a year. Breeze flights account for just 0.6 of this number, as this is a primarily general aviation and flight school airport. As we push back, just listen to how busy the ground controller is.
Vero Ground Skyflight 200, request taxi back to Skyborne. Skyflight 200, Vero Beach Ground, taxi Skyborne, high core taxi via Foxtrot, Delta hold short, runway 12, right. Foxtrot, Delta hold short, runway 12, right, Skyflight 200. Vero Beach Ground, 763, take it from 12, right, not up, 63, runway 12, right. You want to go back to the ramp, stop like 663, taxi to Skyborne via Charlie. Taxi Skyborne via Charlie, Skyborne 663, thank you. Attention all aircraft, Mission Lima, now current, Vero Beach on altimeter 3000. Vero Beach on number 224 for my Westchester County, northbound Lima. Cherokee 224 for Mike, Vero Beach ground, taxi to runway 12 right. Taxi 1 for
Now it's our turn to taxi since the tug has been removed and the engines have been started. What happens next? We call ground control for taxi clearance.
Ground Moxie 580 is ready, taxi with Lima. Moxie 580, taxi to runway 12 right, cross runway 4. Runway 12 right via Charlie, cross runway 4, Moxie 580.
We're told to taxi to runway 12 right without being told which specific taxiways to taxi on, but the pilot read back that he'll take taxiway Charlie. That's the best and quickest way to get to runway 12 right. The controller also provided clearance to taxi across runway 4, which is along the route to get to 12 right. The pilot acknowledged this. Crossing any runway is a critical part of taxiing on any airport service, and communication was clear. But when the plane approaches the runway, the pilots must look out on both sides to ensure that there are no planes on it or approaching it from either direction. I tried to do the same by looking out the windows on both sides of the plane. Clear right? Clear left? We can cross runway 422. Now that we're clear on both sides, as confirmed by me, and I'm sure the flight deck crew, we can now cross the runway. Here we have a nice view on the left-hand side of the runway, and you can see there is no traffic on or approaching the runway. Okay, we're now approaching runway 12 right and are ready for takeoff. The tower, seeing that traffic allows for it, will issue us takeoff clearance right away without telling us to line up and wait first. As we take off, I'll also be providing footage from my dad's camera, who's sitting several rows ahead of me, but still behind the wing. Of course, he's filming because, well, why wouldn't he? We love this stuff. Let's get the takeoff clearance and take off. During the takeoff, you'll also hear other tower transmissions.
Moxie 580, flight heading 120, runway 12 right, clear for takeoff.
Heading 120, runway 12 right, clear for takeoff, Moxie 580.
Vero Beach Tower, Skyflight 444 is holding short of 12 left, ready for departure. Vero Beach Tower, Skyflight 444 is holding short of 12 left, ready for departure. Skyflight 444, make left traffic, lane 12 left, clear for takeoff. Make left traffic, 12 left, clear for takeoff, Skyflight 444. Skyflight 662, we can't give you a touch and go for wake turbulence purposes. Do you want to do a taxi back, or do you want to break it off and we'll bring you back around?
We'll come back around with Skyflight 662.
Flight 662, make a right turn to join the right downwind for runway 12 right.
Skyflight 662.
As we lift off, we're told to contact Palm Beach Departure Control.
580, contact Palm Beach Departure.
We'll check in a moment. The pilot is just waiting for the frequency to quiet down before checking in. As we climb to our initially assigned altitude of 5,000 feet, we continue runway heading toward the Atlantic Ocean. Down below is US 1, a road that we can take all the way up to Westchester, but why would you do that when you can take an A220 to get there? We can see the Intracoastal Waterway and the Atlantic Ocean in the distance. We'll be there in a matter of seconds. Once we check in with the departure controller, we'll just keep flying straight.
Palm Beach, Moxie 580, 1,500, climbing 5,000, heading 120. Moxie 580, Pine Departure, radar contact. Skyfire 443, just be advised, heavy to extreme precip development on the final between Tiki and Westbound. Roger that, Skyfire 443.
It's interesting hearing the controller tell another pilot about heavy to extreme participation, because out here, conditions are just great, and we're about to get a beautiful view of the Vero Beach area and its beautiful beaches and water. Sometimes the controller will turn us early, around this point, but we'll be going out several miles in this heading before turning left. If we were to take a land route up to New York, we would be making a complete U-turn with several left-hand turns to head inland before turning north. But today will be a water route with a series of small, gradual turns until we wind up on a northeast heading so we can join the traffic flow from southern Florida along the high-altitude jet routes up to the northeast. Once we're done with the jet routes, we'll fly the Buono arrival into Westchester. It's a nearly perfect departure for me. The only thing I would have liked would be an earlier turn to the northeast so we can see the shoreline up close, but it is what it is.
Number 9 Romeo Kilo, clear direct Fort Pierce.
Here comes the first turn to the left and a handoff to the Miami Air Route Traffic Control Center.
Moxie 580, turn left heading 090. Left turn 090, Moxie 580. Moxie 580, contact Miami Center 132.25. 3225, Moxie 580.
We'll resume ATC once we get to the New York area. Let's enjoy this climb. A quick look back from a distance reveals the airport we just took off from. I'm all eyes as I take in the last few moments of land views. It's all ocean down there, and by this point the land is pretty far away. That's Cape Canaveral down there. While over the ocean, there was nowhere to look but up due to the clouds below, and I was able to see a Delta 737 flying south from LaGuardia to Miami. An hour into the flight, we saw land once again. Down there is Cape Fear Station on Bald Head Island in North Carolina. Our flight is remaining just off the shoreline today. The reason? Weather to the west. Once around New Bern, we finally flew over land. There were some beautiful cloud formations up here, but the clouds made things like the Salisbury, Maryland airport hard to see. Here we are leaving Delaware, and we'll enter New Jersey in a few moments. This route takes you right over Atlantic City. You can't see it, but you can see the airport. That's the Atlantic City airport down there. We're descending on the Buono arrival to Westchester now. I'm all eyes out the window as I look at eastern New Jersey. I'm so excited that we're rapidly approaching the New York City area. I can't wait, but there's a problem. There are a lot of clouds, and where we can see down, there's haze in the air. Yikes. With this haze, I don't think we're going to see much. Typically, we'd see many ships in the lower New York Bay area down there, but it's really hard to see with the haze, but I got lucky as we approached JFK. Even though I could not see Kennedy Airport itself, I was able to see an ETA A330 climbing out of JFK bound for Rome's Fiumicino Airport. That's a nice capture. Here's the south shore of Long Island. JFK and Queens are both hidden under the clouds. Check out some of my older videos where I successfully see JFK and parts of Long Island. The Buono arrival calls for a right turn over Long Island, making the north shore of Long Island visible once the turn is complete, but with these clouds, well, you can't see anything. As we descended towards the east, we entered the cloud deck. A few minutes later, as published, we started a left-hand turn to the north to fly over Long Island Sound. Again, with the clouds, nothing was really visible. Today we'll be landing on runway 34. Sorry, I should say we will attempt to land on runway 34, at least the first time around. The plane is about to enter Connecticut from the Sound and then make a left-hand turn back out into the Sound, then make a right turn to line up with runway 34 and land. Or maybe not land. After flying the Buono arrival, we'll check in with New York approach control at 4,000 feet, proceeding to Rhymes, the last fix on the arrival procedure.
Air 580, 4,000 direct Rhymes with Oscar.
580 near approach, turn left, heading 260, vector to final, traffic 12 o'clock and 4 eastbound 2600, indicated test zone.
Left heading 260, looking for traffic, Moxie 580.
We get a left turn from the controller to bring us closer to the start of the final approach course, which is out over the sound. We're looking at the Fairfield and Southport areas of Connecticut on the south shoreline of Connecticut. The controller pointed out traffic to our pilot because he's busy. Just listen to him talk to so many other planes in his airspace.
Heading 190, and have direct tug me to join the approach.
190, direct tug me to join the approach, hotel him.
But you wanted us to keep the speed up. You still need that for Big Strap 501?
Big Strap 501, 180 knots to 5 DME.
180 to 5 DME, Big Strap 501.
Jazz 994, proceed direct Greg to join the approach.
Direct Greg, join approach Jazz 994.
Foxy 580, traffic and factors is going to maintain 3,000.
That's 3,000, Foxy 580.
We're now cleared down to 3,000 feet as traffic is no factor.
Skyline 457 Mike Charlie, New York, stay your position and request.
Skyline 547 Mike Charlie, we just took off out of Westchester. We're approaching Tappan Zee Bridge 1,500 en route to Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is Fox Whiskey Alpha. Lake flight following at 4,500.
I just stand by for the code.
Approach that jet 938, 8,300 to 6,000 Valley Oscar.
Approach at 938, New York approach, going to maintain 3,000 on the 994.
3,094, that jet 938.
Or 547 Mike Charlie, squawk 3053.
3053, 7 Mike Charlie.
Number 7 Hotel Lima, 2 miles to Tugby, cross Tugby at 3,300 Yankee, runway.
We're now looking at Norwalk, Connecticut. Population, 93,000. Here's a transmission for us.
Moxie 580, turn left heading 220, when able direct tug me to join the approach.
Left 220, when able direct tug me, Moxie 580.
The controller said that we can turn left at 220 degrees, and when able, proceed direct to Tug Me to join the approach. Tug Me is a point on a right base leg to runway 34 over the Sound, just north of Loy Harbor in Long Island. So we'll head out over the Long Island Sound just east of Norwalk. Once we get to Tug Me, we'll turn right to 250 degrees to a point called JetX. From JetX, we'll turn right directly toward the runway and we'll re-enter the shoreline over Westchester County.
Red 1, you're on Westchester departure. I'm not sure where you came out.
Gray Rider 1, you ready to come back in? Big Star 501, contact Westchester Tower 118.57.
Over to tower, Big Strap 501.
Approach Brickyard 4488, 10.3 for Basie at 8,000 with information uniform. Brickyard 4488, next approach, you guys from 29901. 2991, Brickyard 4488. And goes at 938, just want to confirm you're sending it to 3,000.
That's at 938, we're descending to 3,000. November 68, Alpha Lima 4,000.
November 628, Alpha Lima near approach, turn left, heading 250, vector to final, it's going to maintain 3,000.
Left heading 250, maintain 3,000, 8 Alpha Lima. Gray Rider 1, 3,000, runway heading.
Gray Rider 1, New York, you ready to come back in?
Affirm, Gray Rider 1.
Departure Flexjet 612 is on Panavia, and we're at 3,000.
The controller is now going to clear us for the RNAV Yankee runway 34 approach.
Moxie 582 miles from Tugme, cross Tugme at 3,000, 300 Yankee runway 34.
Cross took me at 3,000, clear for the RNAV Yankee 34, Moxie 580.
Gray Rider 1, climb and maintain 4,000, turn left, heading 32. Flexjet 612 near departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 1,000, Delta.
Flexjet 612 is at 3,000, we'll climb maintain 11,000.
Flexjet 612, turn right, heading 360.
Right heading 360, Flexjet 612.
The right turn provides a nice view of the North Shore of Long Island. We start off seeing Suffolk County, and as the turn is completed, we take in views of Nassau County.
Flexjet 938, proceed direct to Moyes, join the approach.
Direct Moyes, Flexjet 938.
For 7 Mike Charlie, contact approach 127.6.
1276, that's Mike Charlie.
Brickyard 4488, descend to maintain 5,000.
5,000, Brickyard 4488.
Number 7 Hotel Lima, contact Westchester Tower, 118.57.
1857. 37 Hotel Lima, salam.
Gray Rider 1, turn left heading 270.
Left turn 270, Gray Rider 1.
New York departure Malibu 245 Echo Alpha 1800 for 3000.
Malibu 245 Echo Alpha, near departure, radar contact, limit maintain 1000.
Let me maintain 1000, talk about.
Brickyard 4661, currently at 10.8, across base at 8000, we have information, Victor.
Jazz 994, turn right heading 270.
Right turn heading 270, Jazz 994.
Jazz 994, make a 340.
We're now at JetX, so we can turn right toward the runway.
Jazz 994.
Gray Rider 1, turn left heading 220, contact approach 134.90.
220 and 34.9, Gray Rider 1.
Flexjet 612, turn right heading 100.
Right turn 100, Flexjet 612.
Brickyard 4488, turn right heading 180. 180, Brickyard 4488. November 8 Alpha Lima, turn left heading 210.
Left heading 210, 8 Alpha Lima.
8 Alpha Lima, reduce you to 180.
Speed 180, 8 Alpha Lima.
Brickyard 4661, currently at 9.3, across base at 8000, information, Victor.
Brickyard 4661, near express to 29901.
29901, Brickyard 4661.
Flexjet 612, contact departure 118.17.
1817, Flexjet 612, green.
Number 5 Echo Alpha, turn right heading 340.
340, 5 Echo.
It's now time for the handoff to the tower.
Moxie 580, contact Westchester Tower 118.57.
Tower Moxie 580. Tower Moxie 580, RNAV 234.
Foxy 580 Westchester Tower, wind 040 at 6, runway 34, clear to land.
Runway 34, clear to land, Moxie 580.
We're clear to land on runway 34. There's no conflicting traffic, and the runway is ours. We simply continue along the approach straight in, all the way down to the runway. Through the haze, we see Long Island Sound as we look down its entire border with Westchester County. Just beyond that is the Bronx and the 5 boroughs of New York City. The areas of land that jut out into the Sound are part of Rye, New York. Rye has a population of just over 16,000 and is perhaps best known for Playland, which sits on the water. Playland is an amusement park that opened up in 1928 and is still operational to this day. It's a great place for people to enjoy some thrills or even go to the beach to enjoy the water. So things seem pretty normal right now. We're clear to land on runway 34 and the runway straight ahead. Flight attendants have completed their safety checks, ensuring each passenger has their seatbelts on, seats are in the upright position, tray tables are stowed, window shades are open, and trash has been collected. Flight attendants have taken their seats in the front and rear of the aircraft. The cabin is secure, and there isn't much for anyone to do except enjoy the landing. But for one passenger on this plane, well, that passenger has other plans. One person, who's seated ahead of both me and my dad, needs to do something that should have been done around 10 minutes ago. He needs to go to the bathroom. But safety checks have been completed, and announcements have been made to remain seated. No one at this point should be getting up out of their seats. I'd like to think that all passengers know this rule, which comes from the FAA. Getting out of your seat while landing is a serious problem. A landing can be rough, and braking can be very intense, especially at an airport with a short runway like Westchester. Well, one passenger is now getting up here on final approach and walking to one of the rear lavatories where flight attendants are seated. I'm seated in the next to last row, and I saw him walk back there and capture the audio of a flight attendant telling him to sit down.
Sir, I need you in your RV. We're going to be landing in a second.
Sorry, I'm going to go.
We're literally about to touch down. Can you wait till we're on the ground, please? Sir, I need you in your seat. We're about to. For less than 2 minutes.
He enters the lavatory, and the flight attendant calls the cockpit. The flight attendant called the pilot on short final, a critical moment in flight. They're busy landing the plane, but this is a big safety issue, so the pilot needs to make a decision very, very quickly. Now, since I heard everything, I was wondering what's going to happen next. The pilot has decided at this point that we cannot land. He applies power, climbs, and lets the tower know we're going around.
Tower Moxie 580 going.
Moxie 580 Westchester Tower, roger, fly runway heading maintain 2000.
Runway heading 2000, Moxie 580.
Wow, that's the airport down there. We should be landing now, but the tower has told us to climb to 2,000 feet and fly runway heading toward the northwest, a standard go-around path for this runway. We'll get clearance to climb to 3,000 feet in a moment, and we'll continue runway heading. This is a completely unexpected move. I can't believe it's happening.
Moxie 580, fly runway heading maintain 3,000.
We're heading 3,000, Moxie 580.
3,000 feet keeps us 1,000 feet below arrivals to LaGuardia from the north at 4,000. In the meantime, the tower needs to work other traffic in the area, but this airspace is reserved for traffic that needs to go around. The tower is now going to ask our pilot what the reason was for the go-around, because it was initiated by our pilot.
Moxie 580, when able to say the reason for the go-around?
A passenger in the lab.
Roger. Moxie 580, you can contact New York 120.8.
20.8, Moxie 580.
Let's go back to approach control.
New York Moxie 580, runway heading 2,500, climbing 3,000.
Moxie 580, New York departure radar contact, ready to go back in?
Stand by, Moxie 580.
So we're on a go-around right now. Passenger right behind me just went to the lavatory. He should not have done that.
In order for us to land in Orlando, we need all passengers seated at their seat with their seatbelt fastened. Thank you.
I think he means Westchester. I guess that flight attendant flies to Orlando a lot. It's now time for the captain to make an announcement.
Folks, this is your captain. We have one passenger apparently in the restroom that won't come out, so we're unable to land with these conditions. We went around, try to make sure the situation is clarified before we turn back again. And we appreciate your patience, and we are sorry about that.
As the pilot was making this announcement, the passenger who went to the lavatory returned to his seat up front. The flight attendant let the pilot know that the passenger stepped out of the lavatory. He eventually returned to his seat. The pilot was informed of this, and we're now set up to come in for attempt number 2. We're definitely going to try to come back and land a second time, and hopefully nobody gets up out of their seat this time around. This means more work for the approach controller, who all of a sudden, with no warning, has an aircraft that needs to be vectored back into the traffic pattern. We can't keep heading straight. That's the Hudson River out there in the distance. In order to get back to the traffic pattern to HPN, we need to make right traffic, so it'll be all right-hand turns, mostly over the state of Connecticut, to get back to the final approach course. Here's the controller asking if there's any update.
Moxie 580, any update?
Ready to go, Moxie 580.
Moxie 580, roger. Turn right, heading 090.
Right turn 090, Moxie 580.
All right, it's the first of a series of right-hand turns to get us back to runway 34. Our situation is 100% resolved, and we're at the maximum height that we'll have for the do-over. As we turn right, we see the Hudson River as it continues to the north. The only thing I would have asked for is a slightly less hazy day. I'm very excited about the right turns the controller will issue to us based upon the traffic in the area. Why am I so excited? This is airspace I've not seen, and I can't wait to see new things from the air. I'm curious to know how far it will go over the sound before we turn back into the runway. We'll eventually get clearance down to 2,000 feet, but for now we maintain 3,000. The water that we see down there is the New Croton Reservoir, part of the water supply for New York City. We're still looking at land in New York State and Westchester County, but we'll be entering Connecticut in a moment. Runway 34 at HPN is right on the Connecticut Panhandle border, and we'll be in Connecticut soon. That'll be our second time flying over Connecticut on this flight. You never know what's going to happen. The controller's about to issue another right-hand turn 140 degrees. I missed the controller issuing the command, but we hear the pilot respond as we get a brief glimpse of Mount Kisco, New York.
Right turn 140, Moxie 580.
That's Mount Kisco down there. We'll keep the 140-degree heading for a while. This is our right downwind leg to runway 34. By the way, I wanted to mention that there was a lot of commotion going on in the cabin with lots of people talking about what happened. During the first approach, I noticed that there were a higher than normal percentage of passengers looking out the window and taking in all the sights, and once that passenger got up, well, everyone was talking about it. This was not a quiet load of passengers. Down there is Highway 684, a highway that starts from around Route 287 and the Hutchinson River Parkway for 28 miles north. We actually passed over it before doing our initial climb on the go-around. A very small portion of this road goes through Connecticut, but it doesn't have any exits or entrances in Connecticut. On the other side of 684 is Bedford, New York. Its central area is less dense than Mount Kisco, so it's not easy to identify from the sky. Just over 17,000 people call Bedford home. There really won't be any big cities on the downwind leg until we reach the end of the downwind. That's when we hopefully get a great view of Stamford, Connecticut, which should be on this side of the plane. Stamford is a lot bigger than Bedford. Considering the traffic around us, the controller is going to continue our turn now.
Moxie 580, turn right, heading 170.
Right 170, Moxie 580.
Now, this controller out in the New York TRACON on Long Island is doing extra work, and this assignment was initiated by just one passenger on this plane. one passenger who could just not hold it in until we were on the ground. We all had plenty of opportunities to use lavatory on the descent, and many people took advantage of it, but I guess this guy must have been desperate. The good thing is that his refusal to go back to his seat was peaceful. There wasn't much tension in his voice at all. He just had to go. Little did he know that not only would he be increasing the workload for the pilots, but also for one guy staring at his radar on the other side of Long Island Sound. This controller is already handling lots of other traffic, including flights to LaGuardia. Listen to him.
Victor Papa Bravo Tango Mike, turn left, heading 260, and direct tug me to 1 Press.
Okay, direct tug me, Bravo Tango Mike.
Brickyard 4661, contact approach 134.9.
34-9 Brickyard 4661, yep.
We're in Connecticut now and are looking at the Mianus Reservoir. We're specifically in Fairfield County in the Connecticut Panhandle. Just under 1 million people live in this county. The northern reaches look like this, very wooded with many homes spaced far apart, but as we get closer to the Long Island Sound shoreline and Interstate 95, the population density as well as the business density increases tremendously. You can actually see Long Island Sound under the wing, but it's hazy. The controller is now going to clear us down at 2,000 feet and ask if we want a visual approach, but the pilot will respond to that in a later transmission.
580, instead of maintain 2,000, would you like a visual approach?
Descent 2,000, Moxie 580.
Victor Papa Bravo Tango Mike, instead of maintain 3,000.
Set maintain 3000, Victor Papa Bravo Tango Mike.
We can take a visual approach, Moxie 580.
Roger.
Okay, so we can expect a visual approach to runway 34. That's different from the first time around where we flew an RNAV approach. For this attempt, we can expect to see the airport and fly toward it to land on runway 34. I hope the pilots can see the airport since it's hazy. It's actually off of our right side right now. We can now see Stamford, Connecticut out the left side windows of this A220. Stamford is the 6th most populous city in the New England states, and the city is home to 135,000 people. Almost all aircraft arriving at HPN from the north fly near Stamford to get to runway 34. I'm so glad we get to emulate this for this great view, as we're a southern arrival from Florida. This doesn't happen very often. Arriving flights to LaGuardia from the north can also get a similar view of Stamford, but they get it from 4,000 feet. We're lower than that for an even better view. As we approach the Sound again, we get another right turn.
Moxie 580, turn right, heading 190.
Right, heading 190, Moxie 580.
This is the baseline, and we're definitely going to be making a tighter turn than the first time around. This right turn is around the shoreline of Connecticut. The last time we did this, we were near the northern shoreline of Long Island. We'll get in quicker this time, providing, of course, that no one gets up to use the lavatory. While it's fun to go around and try it a second time, the airline doesn't like it. It just burns more fuel. We should have been at the gate by this point, and we're not. I like this view of Stamford Harbor. If you look carefully, you can see how the harbor is protected by a large breakwater. You don't see many of those on the Long Island Sound. Passengers on the right side of this plane are getting a nice view of Greenwich, Connecticut. We're making a complete U-turn around Greenwich, and they'll basically only see Connecticut all the way down to touchdown, as the final approach path is right on the border between New York and Connecticut. Here's the next turn.
Moxie 580, turn right, heading 250, advise Westchester sites.
Right, heading 250, Moxie 580.
We turn right to 250 degrees and are asked to report the airport in sight, which is off to the right. Once we get the airport in sight, we can get cleared for a visual approach to runway 34, but there's a hindrance. As we've been seeing, it's hazy, so it's not easy to find the airport. The controller is going to turn us further to the right and once again asked to report the field in sight. The pilot is not able to see it, so he's cleared for another RNAV approach to runway 34, but the last second he sees the airport, so the controller clears him for a visual approach to runway 34. Then he hands the flight back to the tower.
Moxie 580, turn right, heading 310, you got your field?
Right, heading 310, Moxie 580, not yet, a little hazy.
Moxie 580, roger, you're 3 from Islet, maintain 2,000 to your southwest, cleared on a Yankee runway 34, clear.
Alright, cleared for the RNAV Yankee 34, Moxie 580, we do have the field in sight now as well.
Moxie 580, roger, Civic approach runway 34, contact Westchester Tower 118.57.
Alright, clear for the visual approach 34, contact Tower Moxie 580.
So it's a visual approach to runway 34. It's now time to check back in with the tower to get clearance to land.
Tower Moxie 580, visual 34.
Moxie 580 Westchester Tower, wind 030 at 6, runway 34, clear to land.
Alright, 34, clear to land, Moxie 580.
We're clear to land once again on runway 34. Recognize the controller's voice? It's the same person on the tower frequency who climbed us during the go-around 10 minutes ago. We want to make sure that we land this time around. We've already wasted enough fuel. As for the traffic to the airport, traffic is light, so there are no air traffic conflicts that could potentially cause another go-around, and very importantly, all passengers are seated. We're approaching the shoreline as we fly right over the border of two states. We've seen this, of course, before. We're coming up on Portchester, New York, a border village with a population of around 32,000. The major road near the shoreline is Interstate 95, which began in the state where we came from, Florida, but continues all the way up to Maine. We're ending in New York today. I just wish it wasn't so hazy. Way in the distance, I was actually able to see the skyscrapers of Manhattan, but it was really hard to pick up on camera with this haze. I actually heard some passengers taking note of that. It's always exciting to hear other passengers discuss the view. One thing about Breeze is that they make an announcement before landing telling all passengers to keep their window shades up during the landing for safety purposes. Yes, it's for safety, but it really encourages people to look out. And fortunately, the A220 has very large windows, so even if you're not seated at a window seat, you can still see out pretty well. The next flight video I'll post on this channel is probably going to be on an Airbus. They're known for their small windows. This aircraft type is so much more preferential. Oh, and before this video ends, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon members Simon Weber and Luca Presti. Your patronage on Patreon is much appreciated. For more information, visit patreon.com/Peter Masella. We're at the point now where the desperate bathroom-bound passenger got up out of his seat 12 minutes ago and proceeded to walk to the rear lavatory. The runway is 1 minute and 15 seconds away from this point. So much happened in such a short period of time, but this time around, everything is perfect, and the only difference is that we're a bit lighter since we burned fuel for the last 12 or 13 minutes. For now, I'm going to let us all enjoy a perfect landing on runway 34 at the Westchester County Airport.
Street 5070 Westchester Tower, traffic 6 mile final, runway 34, line up and wing. Moxie 580, turn right at Bravo, contact ground.
Right, Bravo, contact ground, Moxie 580.
Welcome to White Plains, New York. The local time is approximately 6:48 p.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we have arrived at the gate and the seatbelt sign has been turned off. And keep the aisle clear of any carry-on items. You are now free to use your mobile phones. Please use caution when opening overhead compartments as items may have shifted in flight. Once again, we do need everyone to remain seated with those seatbelts fastened and use the seatbelt sign.
Moxie 580 is clear in Bravo.
Thank you for flying with Breeze Airways today.
Moxie 580 westbound runway, correction, taxi terminal via Alpha.
Terminal via Alpha, Moxie 580.
Your captain here, please remain seated. We're not at the gate. There's a couple of airplanes in front of us. As soon as they move out, we do have a gate. Actually, all gates are open, but the aircraft are still in front of us. We can access it. So we appreciate your patience. Please remain seated.
All right, everybody, that was exciting. A lot of drama on final approach, but we made it. All right, I think my dad is actually right in the bag claim area because he was actually up front and I was in the back of the aircraft. So here I am. Oh, there he is, right over there. I got to get his take on what he thought about the go around. What do you think about that go around?
First time I did a go around for a guy who had to go.
That was an interesting situation. All right, so I was sitting in the very back of the airplane, so I heard and saw everything. The flight attendant was telling the guy, you need to go back to your seat or sit in the seat right behind me. I was in the next to the last row. There's an empty seat there. He refused, went to the bathroom, and then she immediately called the cockpit. So I knew we were going to go around. What about you?
Well, I was wondering why we're going around. I thought maybe the tower called it, but I did see this individual walk past our seats on very short final.
Oh, so maybe you were thinking about that a little bit?
I said, what the heck was he doing here?
Yeah, very strange. Well, interesting situation. Well, it's always exciting, I have to say.
We did a go around for a guy who had to go.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to end the video here. That was an exciting flight. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's always exciting. You never know what's going to happen. Of course, it's a routine flight from Vero Beach to Westchester that I take all the time, but these things do happen. Well, anyway, I want to thank you very much for joining me. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get alerts when I post the next video, and I'll be back with another video just like this. Thanks, everybody, and see you soon. With all the traveling I do, I find myself just sitting for hours on an airplane, and I need a way to make up for that. So I use my Yesol G1M Plus for a regular cardio workout. A breeze to put together, and at a great price point, this is the best stationary bike I've ever had. With so much time spent sitting, this is a great fit for my lifestyle, and using it doesn't take me away from what I need to do. It's all about fun cardio, as this bike features wired multimedia casting, making a typical cardio workout transformed into something enjoyable. I mean, who doesn't enjoy watching Peter Masella's YouTube channel while working out? I know I certainly watch my channel all the time, even when I'm not working out, because the screen rotates 360 degrees, so I can watch the screen when not sitting on the bike. I love having an additional screen in my home in a place where I normally would not have one. What a great feature. Working out and enjoyment go hand in hand with Yesol. As a traveler, I love this feature, which allows me to feel like I'm biking abroad. And when I want to take things very seriously, I just tune into instructor-led courses. I always leave it to the pros to tell me what to do. I'm an expert as an airline passenger, but I'm not an expert trainer. And statistics are always available to me. These are some fantastic metrics that provide me with the right information at the right time. And I'm not the only one who uses Yesol.
Hey, this is Peter Senior here. I'm using Yesol on a regular basis, and let me tell you, it's working wonders for me as well.
That's right, my dad loves using this product. After all, he also sits on airplanes a lot and needs the cardio workout. He's especially fond of the 4-speaker system and 2 subwoofers for exceptional sound quality. As a viewer of this channel, you can take advantage of my discount code in the description below. It's exceptionally affordable. Imagine watching Netflix or the news or airplane videos while biking or at any angle. What a deal this is. That's right, you heard it. You can get a great discount with my code. You just gotta do it.